In this video clip, we're going to do a question from the October 2014 exam. The question is, given a Keynesian model of an open economy, illustrate on the following diagram the impact of an increase in autonomous imports on the equilibrium level of income. And then importantly, remember to label your diagram. So the first very important thing we're going to do is we're going to label our axis. Now students always forget to do this, but this is important because a diagram basically shows you the relationship between two variables. So if you label it incorrectly, you're actually showing the relationship between two different things. So then the whole graph is incorrect. So remember, in the Keynesian model, we label our y-axis with spending, this we abbreviate with an A, and the x-axis we label income. And this we abbreviate with a Y. Y? I don't know. That's just A and Y. And then always we draw the 0 to show the origin of the graph. All right, now we have the two variables of the Keynesian model. So first thing that you have to remember is that in the Keynesian model, the equilibrium is where spending is equal to income. So if spending, for instance, is 1, then this graph would be in equilibrium where income is 1, right? So a 45-degree line would show all possible equilibriums. That's why we always draw a 45-degree line. That line doesn't actually exist. It just shows all potential equilibriums. Okay, this is not important. Now, next step is for me to draw the spending line. I start with an intersect over here, which I'm going to call spending autonomous 1. Right. Then I draw a flat but positive sloping curve. This is my spending line. I call this line A1. Okay. Why is autonomous spending not at 0? Autonomous spending is all the spending we do irrespective of our income. So all the spending that's not dependent on our income level. Then we have a positive sloping but flat line, meaning the richer we get, the more we spend, but only a portion of the income we get in, because we're always going to save a certain amount of money. That's why this line isn't very steep, but flat. Right. We know spending is dependent on everything consumers spend, everything investors spend, everything the government spend, all exports minus all the imports. Okay. Of all these, we know investment is autonomous because investment doesn't depend on our level of income, it depends on the interest rate. So it's not part of this model, it's something outside of this model. The government is also autonomous because they want to create jobs and create an environment in which the economy can function. They don't depend on the income level. And then also exports is also autonomous because it depends on the income of people in other countries. Now, C and Z has two parts. It has an autonomous part, the part we're always going to spend, irrespective of our income, and the induced part. That is a fraction of our income we're going to spend if we get richer. Imports is exactly the same. It has an autonomous part and a part which is dependent on our income. That small m is for the marginal propensity to import. So, if this increases, like the question said, if autonomous imports increases, it will mean this whole Z over here would increase. Meaning it's minus a bigger number. And if you minus with a bigger number, then spending would decrease. Okay, so now we know if autonomous imports increase, spending is going to decrease. But we also know it's a autonomous imports that's going to increase. Meaning, this guy over here will decrease. So, the slope will stay exactly the same because nothing happened to my induced imports. Let's just name this A2, spending line A2. This is autonomous spending A2. Right, and show that spending decreased. The question asks, what's going to happen to equilibrium level of income? Initially, equilibrium of income, level of income was over here. But now it changed to this level of this equilibrium, to this level of income over here. You'll get marks for drawing the graph correctly, very important, having the correct axis, having equilibrium, showing it properly, showing the intersect and the lines properly. That will all give you only 1 mark. Why only 1 mark? Because you haven't really answered the question yet. You just drawn the graph. Then you'll get 1 mark to show a decrease in spending, and you'll get 1 mark for actually answering the question saying equilibrium level of income would decrease.